for both who it's brought to us by. So Marty, play along.
Okay, I will. I'll play along, or try to at least.
Okay.
All right, I think we're streaming. Yep,
Gosh, we're good. All right, are we ready here, folks? All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 254, recorded on August 29th, 2019. On tonight's episode, what are we? 245? What? Listen, I'm reading the goddamn notes, Jesse.
It says 245.
All right. Okay. It's been out of practice, right? Should we take two? Take two. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 245. 45. Take 3. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 245, recorded August 29th, 2019. On tonight's episode, we discuss Overwatch coming to the Nintendo Switch. What? Yacht Club Games had an announcement that has us digging in. And by the way, Disney wants us to imagine a whole new world. Jesse, cue the music. The other music, Jesse. God.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Marty here with Nintendo Dads. It's episode 245, recorded live straight to your ears here on 8/29/19. We are just minutes away at this point from Astral Chain being released on Nintendo Switch, which, by the way, go ahead, spoiler alert here, fantastic reviews for it this week.
Yeah, those scores are coming in really hot. I've been watching that all week, and I am pumped. I am
excited for it. Just
honest. Oh, I'm gonna be so excited, folks.
Speaking of so excited, we are so excited to welcome back to the show, Mr. Justin Masson. Fresh off a 2-month hiatus, we really thought that maybe you didn't like us anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had to, I'm such a big ego and draw for this group that I literally had to tell the other two to bench warm today. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, Gary, Tim, you guys sit down. I got this, right? I was going to send Jesse home too, but somebody's got to control the soundboard. So, it's good. It's good to be back though. It has been a 2-month hiatus. For those of you that are listening only to the audio stream, I've got my hair cut nicely for you, right? I'm showing up in a new office. I got some new
sweet glasses.
I had some sweet glasses, a slightly kind of dad beard going on here.
It's kind of like when you change all your characters' clothes on Splatoon.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And now you're super fresh.
Yeah, I feel super fresh. Although I'm going to be honest with you, this haircut is like literally 45 minutes fresh. I still have like little bits of hair down my shirt, and it's feeling itchy. So who knows what's gonna happen to the shirt today? You know what I'm saying? The shirt could come off in the middle of the show. I don't know.
I don't know. That's too much for the first time back.
Okay,
I don't know that the feed can handle it.
I'm just that excited. I might break the internet again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and by the way, how does it feel to not be podcasting at 4 a.m.?
Oh man, let me tell you, I've got energy up the wazoo. I just had a Coke float, threw that down, and I'm not hungover and surly.
I mean,
depending on my recording in Ireland is very possible I could be hungover and surly.
Yeah, I totally expected you to come back refreshed, excited, everything, but I also am a little disappointed because I expected you would come back like resting on a bed of Timbits.
You know what? I have had an enormous amount of like Timbits and Tim Hortons in the last month. They have a thing here, kind of like they do, most coffee places. We'll stamp your card and you get the 7th one free. So I've cashed in on that one, I think 4 times since I've been back to Canada. So you do the math on that one, right? Like the ladies at Tim Hortons now is just like, oh, Mr. Masson, how are you doing today there, eh?
They just start fixing it when you come through the door, right?
They do. I was like, that's exactly. They're like, something smells like maple syrup and bacon. Mr. Masson's here. Get the double ready in the Timbits, folks. Let's do this thing. Maple
syrup mooses.
That a boy. That's why you're still here. That's why, because you know how to use a soundboard, right?
That's the only reason he's still here.
That's exactly it.
According to Justin. Speaking of who he is, that's Jesse Waldack over there on the soundboard. We're glad to have you with us tonight as well, Jesse.
Thank you. I think one of the favorite titles and artwork cards that I made while you were gone was the Agent 00 Tidbits.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm a fan. I'm a creator, but I was happy to listen to you guys in the last 2 months. Mustin Jason or whatever it was. That was good. That was a pretty good dig there, lads. I was happy with that one. So, but I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to jump into World
glad
Nintendo.
to have you back. And as you said, jumping in, there's a ton to talk about tonight. And so why don't we just go ahead and do that then?
Let's do it.
And you listeners know what that means. That means our news is coming up, and our news is brought to us by who, Justin?
Our news is brought to us by Third Love, right? The modern bra for all the women out there. Third Love. No, okay. Is it Quip? Is Quip the toothbrush company? They're our sponsor, right? No, guys. I thought we didn't get Quip to sponsor us. Harry's. Audible sponsors every goddamn podcast. Got to be
very close. I mean, I had a podcast, 3 years ago that 8 people in the world listened to, and Audible sponsored us.
Yeah. So do we still have no sponsors?
No.
Seriously, 2 months and you guys couldn't. Well, who are our sponsors then?
Our sponsors are the good folks over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. You do remember those guys, right?
Right. They do pay the bills. They pay for the sweet lights in here going on.
Right. They pay for that Christmas tree that you've got behind you there on the shelf.
That's right.
And we're saying that because we want you to ask about that. We want you, what is in Masson's office? There you go. Seriously, Justin,
Please
while
understand.
you've been gone, our patrons have been amazing.
Right.
And they are fantastic. And we're thankful for each and every one of you who's gone over there to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and signed up even at $1 a month to help change the world and make great Nintendo Dads content. You are making all of this possible. You are responsible. The gravitational pull of the patrons are what brought Justin back to Canada.
That is exactly it. What you don't know is that all of you actually paid for my flights back. So I greatly appreciate that. It was either that or they were just going to deport me and it was on a boat. So I appreciate that. I am a little bit I am almost a little bit hurt that we seem like our patronage has gone up since I've been gone for 2 months. So let's see if there's a correlation. Either Friday or Saturday, we're going to see a drop in Patreon support. Or maybe it stays, neutral. But we're going to see what happens.
It is the end of the month.
Right. That's fair. So maybe it's not.
Don't be too harsh on yourself.
I appreciate it.
All right.
That. Thank you.
But no, seriously, thanks to each and every one of you for coming alongside of us. It's, even down to $1 a month, you get in our exclusive Discord server. You get to chat with us. You get to hang out with other fans of the show and participate in monthly mayhem and do all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it's fantastic. It's a great little community that you guys have helped build over there. And we are super, super excited about it and thankful for each and every one of you. So let's dive right into these headlines. Our big story this week, I guess out of all of these, I'm kind of scrolling through our document right here. Is that what?
Oh, no, you go ahead. Because I'm I'll tell you what the big story is.
No, go ahead and tell us what the big story is.
The big story is that Overwatch might be coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Well, okay, so that's a rumor.
Oh, go on. It's a rumor.
Well, I mean, there's a date. There you go.
There you go.
So let's just head on over to the rumor section then.
Let's do it.
Justin's back. We can break the rules for tonight.
That's right.
Yeah. So what you've heard straight out of Masson's mouth, Overwatch potentially coming to Nintendo Switch. Justin, how did this rumor come about? For those of us not in the know.
Yeah, so this is really interesting, and I think one of the reasons why I'm excited about this rumor is I think very often, and we've talked about, I've kind of mentioned before that I want Overwatch to come to Nintendo Switch, not because I'm like a massive Blizzard fan or an Overwatch fan. As a matter of fact, I've never played Overwatch, but I'm excited for the possibility of it. But here's how this actually kind of transpired. Earlier this week, there was a listing on Amazon.com for a Nintendo Switch case that had the Overwatch logo on it. Now, at first blush, you're kind of like, well, that doesn't seem like it doesn't really add up, Justin. So a couple things that kind of added these pieces together. First, the Nintendo Switch case was actually being done by PDP. So is it PDP or PowerA?
PowerA.
PowerA, thank you. PowerA, which is a official supplier of Nintendo accessories.
They have the stamp.
Yeah, they have the actual stamp. They are the one that if you go in and buy a product that is not necessarily like officially from Nintendo, but it's a Nintendo quality stamp, most likely from them. They do fantastic work.
I mean, these guys are the same ones who, if you go to our YouTube channel, like they did the GameCube controller,
yep.
They did the enhanced wireless control. They make great quality Nintendo Switch accessories.
Yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic stuff, right? So it's actually done by not just some guy in a basement, right? The next part of it that's kind of the key indicator is the fact that it was actually in the description saying it was officially licensed merchandise from Nintendo and Blizzard. Of course, Blizzard being the publisher and creators of Overwatch. So that's pretty massive. The third kind of component around this that kind of aligns, now this is a little bit more wishful thinking conspiracy theory. A year ago, this time was actually when Diablo 3 was announced by Blizzard. Right. So kind of these components begin to kind of line up. Overwatch coming to the Nintendo Switch. No one should be, oh my gosh, this is shocking. I think it was only a matter of time. We heard this rumor. This rumor has been spinning for almost a year, right? Since Diablo came on, it was for sure spinning. I think I had it in my E3 predictions at some point. I don't know if I get half point prizes if it actually ends up coming true.
I think we were talking about Overwatch for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of always been there. Now, the other component of it that I would say is very interesting is they were saying that Nintendo Switch, this Overwatch case, was available on September 15th. Now, the reason that kind of would ring true to us as well is we do suspect that Nintendo will be having a Nintendo Direct in early September. So this would kind of correlate potentially with the announcement of the game coming out potentially in early September. We also know that GameStop has added, I think, 12 new SKUs.
More than that, it's like 18.
18 SKUs. So there's a lot of things that kind of align that this is coming. So I think when this is officially announced, it's not going to be a huge shock, but I do think it's a fantastic win for the platform.
Here's a couple of things that I want to interject here and I want to say and add to this. I think we got to take the date of September 15th with a grain of salt because that's a Sunday.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So the release date's a little wonky. It's possible. The other that what we're hearing, there's another release date that is rumored out there that's pretty much being rumored by a lot of leakers as October 18th being the release date of Overwatch, which we could see the case and the game release on the same day. The other thing that we know is a Nintendo Direct probably is coming. Like you said, in September, we usually get one of those, but I can tell you a day it's not going to be. It is. And if you hear these rumors, they're wrong. It is not going to be September the 10th because Apple is running a new iPhone event that day and no way Nintendo's running a Direct up against an iPhone event.
Yeah, you're probably correct, right? I wouldn't be shocked if it's going to be
the next day. Or Thursday. It's probably not going to be on the 11th. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's going to be maybe the 12th.
Thursday. Thursday is probably more likely. The other component of that as well is the fact that Thursday is a great day to do a Direct because the eShop is scheduled to refresh those days anyways as well. So yeah, I think this is a great. Again, nothing official, but I think it's going.
It's not official, but I gotta say, having seen those rumors and seen the actual product photos, somebody's got to be really, really, really good at faking it.
Yeah, well,
there was nothing about those images that looked like a shop, right?
Yeah.
Like it didn't. It looked real. It looked like it existed, that these are product photos.
Yeah.
It didn't. But and the thing was it wasn't really pulling anything from any other case that already exists, other than like maybe the zipper pulls, which the zipper pulls are Joy-Con shaped zipper pulls, but even the product page had the inside of the case with Overwatch, the logo stitched on the tag and stuff like that. So
If this is indeed fakery, someone has gone to a tremendous amount of effort. The other part of it was shortly after it got leaked, and I do want to say that we were not the ones that broke it. There were other sites. We quickly picked up on it. I took some screenshots because I was correct in what happened was that the site got pulled very quickly.
Yeah.
Afterwards, so that's a pretty good sign. Also, that it's not supposed to be there.
I saw it originally from Wario64 Twitter.
Yeah.
Not saying he's the first to break it, but that's where I got it from.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that once I think those signs all point to probably being true. So I'm excited to see what happens. And of course, the other component of that being is that then people are speculating, will we see Tracer as a Smash Brother characters? There was an individual named Anonymous in a Reddit thread that basically says that he has leaked information that the next Smash character is female, that we're not expecting. Of course, Tracer became like this immediate assumption.
But he also says that character is a mecha.
Correct. Yeah. People trying to put pieces together. Here's the thing. That one I'm less likely to believe or less likely to connect with. I don't see facts or evidence to support that, other than it's a great opportunity to spin a rumor mill and get some clickbait. That's my own opinion. So we're not going to give it a lot of oxygen here. So Jesse, I don't know. Did you play Overwatch at all?
Not at all.
Okay. Okay.
I've seen.
I loved it on PS4, and I played it a lot when it first came out. But and people who play Overwatch will understand what I mean when I say this. I have not played Overwatch since the update that included Orisa.
Okay.
So there's several new characters I have no clue about.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting because Overwatch has been out for so long that a lot of people probably already have it. And have played it, and it has a rabid community, right? It has its own esports, it has everything associated with it. So it coming to the Switch, there are going to be audience members like myself who have never played it, so it's brand new to them and excited for it. But then you have lapsed players, potentially Marty like yourself, who might be saying, "Hey, now that I can take it on the go with me, right? Now that I've got this flexibility, this mobility, I think it works for me." And we know that the game like this, shouldn't have difficulty running on the Switch. We've seen a game like Paladins. Same kind of platform, same premise, also run fairly well after some patches. So I would suspect that Blizzard, when they end up bringing it to the system, will be well prepared for it.
I love the idea of Overwatch being on the Switch because that's the very reason that I fell out of it, was because lugging my PlayStation 4 and headphones and controllers and power cords somewhere that I could play online was so tedious. Yeah. By the time I set up and done, which didn't take all that long. It's just the hassle of all of it, though. It would be a great win for Switch. I remember it's been years now, that Fortnite dropped on the Switch. Before that, I was saying this is absolutely something Nintendo has to pursue to get Fortnite on the Switch. I think they're in a position right now that they're sitting pretty. They don't have to pursue Overwatch, but this is gravy, right? This is but on the other hand of that, or the other side of that, I want to believe, part of me wants to believe or hopes that this is not Overwatch, but it's a sequel. Because the original game has like you just said, been out there a while, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And eventually we know that they're going to move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know that, they're not going to shadow drop a sequel to Overwatch on every system, by October. That's not going to happen. Overwatch 2 is going to have tons of build up. So the likelihood of this being Overwatch 2 is not at all. Yeah. But as long as it's not like Overwatch Musu game, I'm in.
Exactly.
Well, sure. I could see like an announcement of Overwatch 2 coming in the October-ish window to start the hype for that cycle.
Yeah, Blizzard has their conference the end of October, early November, right? BlizzCon. So I wouldn't be shocked if we hear that there as well. So that's Overwatch, guys. Hopefully you guys are excited. Great seeing people in the chat here as well. Overwatch Scramble. I love that. I love that. Thank you very much, Yakka Warner.
It's going to be an Overwatch kart racer.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, speaking of games that maybe you'll be playing mobilely, did you guys hear that Mario Kart Tour is available for pre-registration right now, coming out September 25th?
Yeah, super excited about that, by the way, because the other release this week, Pokemon Masters, which it came out today, totally don't give a flying fart in a whirlwind about that game.
No, hey, okay.
No,
tell me why, because I played about 5 minutes of it. I'm like, eh.
Well, it's like if you've listened to the show for a long time, you know that I don't have a strong connection with Pokemon. So, I'm picking up Sword and Shield. I've loved Let's Go. Let's Go was like the first Pokemon game that I really, really loved. But like I just don't have connection to these characters.
Sure.
You know, so like all of these major characters or major supporting characters from Pokemon showing up in a game together, it just doesn't really do anything for me. So
that's fair.
I'm like it. Like I fully acknowledge it's probably somebody's huge cup of tea, but it's not mine.
Well, speaking of someone whose huge cup of tea it might be, our resident Pokemon master, the man who has the body of.
Oh, he broke up again.
On references.
You broke up.
Excited for Pokemon Masters.
You broke up just as you were making your joke, so I didn't know what you were going with. But I'm enjoying it so far. I've only played maybe half of the core games over this lifetime of the series, so a lot of these characters I'm playing with, I don't know. I think most of them are coming from Gen 5 and Gen 3. You know, those are the two big gens that I haven't played. But
sure.
in the story mode, I'm up to Chapter 5. I just started Chapter 5, and I'm liking it so far. That's maybe
you have played a lot of this game then.
Maybe 2 hours in.
Okay.
All right.
So for people who are listening and myself, I just looked at the game and was like, no. Well, may not know what this game is. What kind of game is Pokemon Masters? What can they expect?
Right. So your avatar that you create is a trainer in the game, and you have a sync pair of a Pikachu. Over the course of the story, you collect other trainers and their one Pokemon. And I think there's currently 65 sync pairs at launch. So during just going through the story, you'll get, I think, 15 or 16, maybe more, with enough gems for you to collect 15 or 16 more on top of that. And especially they're also running a special daily login extra gem event for launch, so you might actually be more than that. But so you create a team of 3, so you have 3 trainers that'll have 3 Pokemon, and you go up against other teams of 3. And instead of being strictly turn-based, where if I do nothing happens, it's more like an active time battle. So if I do nothing, I will lose. But then each trainer, I can choose which trainer which action to get queued up, and I can queue up an action on all 3 of them, and then let them run, if I have the energy for it. Like this energy bar will slowly fill. I think you have 4 or 5 slots at start, and if you have enough coins, in-game currency, you can go up to 6. And most basic moves will take 1. Some basic moves will take 2 blocks of energy. Some of the stronger moves you can learn will take up 2 to 3. Or you can do like an ability like a full heal or a potion. That's something that's a trainer action. That does not cost energy, but still queues up and spends time.
Okay.
And
cool.
And so that's out right now. It's on both iOS and Android. So you can go and download that. It's free to start, right? That's what they're calling that now. Free, not free to play, but free to start.
Well, but basically, it's the only thing I've seen so far to spend money on is to buy gems to get at the capture mechanic or the gacha mechanic. Everything else, all the other collectibles are only gotten in game. So you can play through the game. You might be limited to what Pokemon types you have. Like I don't have a dragon or a fairy yet, unless I start spinning the wheel. But I have a feeling by the end of the story, I'll probably have at least one of everything. So it can be definitely be played with limitations. And then it's similar to like what Fire Emblem did, where most of what you get are 3 stars, and then you can upgrade them to 4 or 5, or if you're just lucky with the draws, get them at 4 or 5 out of the box.
Nice. Big thanks to Adam, who's in our chat right now, and he's providing some information as well regarding the Pokemon Masters game and making some adjustments. So, Adam, thanks for being in the chat. We appreciate that. So check it out, folks. It is free, right? So no harm, no foul.
Right. So we kind of wow, that was scary.
Sorry,
so we kind of glossed over Mario Kart Tour, but that is available on both iOS and Android for pre-order.
Pre-registration.
Right, which is weird, like pre-order, pre-registration for a mobile game. But Dr. Mario did it as well, and it actually released ahead of time. You know, it was supposed to release.
It came out like 10 o'clock my time last night, but the servers were not keeping up with the demand, and it didn't really stabilize until closer to midnight.
Right.
So my question is this: with Nintendo, I guess, leaning, it seems, more into mobile because, you know, we had, you know, getting started with Miitomo and then Mario Run is a little bit of a slow start, but now like 3 games this year, right?
Yeah, and really like and they've kind of been moving them pretty quickly as well.
And you know, early on, their focus wasn't necessarily monetization, but just to get more of a marketing tool to get people interested in other franchises that will be coming to the Wii U and the Switch. But with the new leadership, I think it is leaning more towards we want this as a form of monetization, which is fair. You're a business. You have that right.
Yeah.
Right.
And Nintendo is usually good at trying not to be an Activision or other or in Electronic Arts in how they handle microtransactions.
Right. Yeah. So I'm probably never going to download Pokemon Masters, but I've already pre-ordered Mario Kart Tour, and I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, releasing a day or so early.
Hearing what Roger's going to say about this, because he has played every game and he knows these characters a lot more than I do. And you know, anyone not listening who wants to know more about it, there's a YouTube video put out by Loxton. I think his channel is called Noggin / Loxton or something. But he's had the game for a little over a month and talked about it. Put out a video today. So yes, sponsored video, but still he was critical at some points, and you know he knows his Pokemon, and I have knowing him from his other videos, I agree with what he said so far from what little I've played.
Cool. So, guys, Pokemon Masters is out. Check it out if you want to. We'd love to know your comments, what you guys think. Send us a message if you're enjoying it as well. Speaking of things that happened this week, I love when companies kind of provide us like Nintendo Direct style messaging. And Yacht Club Games did that today, or did that this week with their Yacht Club Presents Direct, I guess is what I would call here. And Marty, you're kind of a resident Shovel Knight fan. You've been pretty critical, but also passionate about the work that's being done over at Yacht Club and hitting deadlines potentially. But maybe you want to break down what the presentation was about. Maybe the key takeaways that people should know.
So Yacht Club did. I guess it was about an hour worth of presentation yesterday afternoon, right after lunch. With promises
I completely missed this. I didn't even know this happened.
There were promises that there would be some updates on King of Cards, which I think, you know, it's time. As Justin said, let me temper this before I say it. Like I want to be fair to them, but I also believe that there needs to be more of a critique of them as well, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But we finally have a release date for Shovel Knight King of Cards, which will finish out, kind of put a bow on the Treasure Knight the Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, which is the original game, Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and King Knight, as well as the Amiibo, which finally are going to release. You guys, being honest here, some people.
Oh no, he's breaking up.
He froze. No, Marty, don't freeze on us.
Oh gosh, are we having problems again?
Now you're back. But yeah, when
No,
you
I'm
said
back. Okay.
when you
So
said
what I was saying was,
you said,
these people
go ahead.
have had. There are some people who have had the Shovel Knight Amiibo on pre-order for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. That's a long time to wait, especially when that pre-order was made in good faith, believing that King of Cards would release and what we were being told it would release 2 years ago. Now, I'm happy about this. I love Shovel Knight. As Justin has said, I think that they are, I used to think and believe that they were the gold standard for how indies should be handled and how, fulfillment of indies should be handled, because a hugely successful Kickstarter that turned into now what is, I want to call it a Shovel Knight empire, but it is, right?
Sure.
I mean, they're about to leave Shovel Knight behind and move on to something new, which is the Cyber Ninja game,
Yep.
which also looks incredible. Let's be honest, kind of a modern take on Ninja Gaiden almost, but also in this direct or announcement, they announce another Shovel Knight game.
Shovel Knight. No, well, so hold on. Are we talking about Shovel Knight Dig, or are we talking about Shovel Knight Showdown?
Well, we're talking about Shovel Knight Dig.
Okay. Which, by the way,
Because we knew about Showdown.
It does. Okay, yeah, we knew about Showdown, and Shovel Knight Dig does look great. I'm not gonna. I don't want to throw the way that game looks under the bus at all. However, where I do kind of have something that gets kind of stuck in my craw here is that now this is the second game or the second thing that they've been working on in addition to King of Cards.
well, here's the thing.
And
that
you kind of start to see why there's been so many delays.
I watched, and here's the thing: I wasn't a backer. I was just a purchaser afterwards, right? So I don't have as much vested financial interest, right?
Here.
But from my understanding of it, Nitron is doing the actual work and lift of Shovel Knight Dig,
Okay.
and Yacht Club is kind of the steerer of it, right? So
Yeah,
it's over
they're
their hands.
overseeing it.
So ideally, from a mind share perspective, that's probably taking up some of that space potentially, right? They have to dedicate some resources to assist in it. But my impression or my understanding from the conversation about Nitron is that they're pretty much doing the lift, right? And so I don't know if that's an excuse.
I just think that there is, for most people, for like most fans of a certain genre or certain IP or whatever, there's a level of goodwill that they will go to when the waiting for something they've been waiting for a while. And I like, more often than not now, when I see anything Shovel Knight related, it's negative. Whereas before it was, man, this game is awesome. Everybody needs to play Shovel Knight. I'm going to rebuy it again. I'm going to get it again on the Switch. Oh, the Spectre Knight DLC was fantastic. Plague Knight DLC. And I have no doubt that King Knight is going to be fantastic. They showed a lot of it and it looks huge, right? Like it looks like it. They mentioned it has the most levels of any DLC. There's tons of story, but like it kind of goes back to, and I didn't want to go here, but I'm going to go here. All right. It kind of goes back to the chicken wiggle argument, right? It's like, what did we back, or what was promised? Well, it was 3 DLCs. All right, so we got 2 of them, and then there was a King of Cards DLC promised, right? But now it's become King of Cards and Showdown and Dig and a card game element inside of King of Cards and all kinds of other stuff. And with Chicken Wiggle, it was, you're going to get Chicken Wiggle on the Switch, and it's going to have a fresh coat of paint and some new sounds. But now it's all of this stuff, and really it's like even with Chicken Wiggle, it's like they're not even telling us what it is anymore, right? At
Yeah,
least Yacht Club is finally like taking the lid off everything. And honestly, at this point, like I feel for them because like I feel like it's kind of become the proverbial boulder rolling downhill.
yeah.
With Shovel Knight. And at this point, I'm thinking that like they're kind of like, all right, I'm ready to be done with this. Like I'm ready to wash our hands of Shovel Knight for a while.
So here's kind of and so I don't disagree with you there, Marty, but I'm going to challenge you on a little bit of a concept or thought that I had during this, right? So when yacht clubs put Shovel Knight up for Kickstarter, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, and throw it in the chat here, it was via Kickstarter, right? So they started Yacht Club Games.
Yeah.
They were looking for backing. They had a small team. They were able to get that funding, right? And that funding allowed for them to create a runway, essentially, to be able to say, we can pay developers, we pay our publishers up to X point to get game done, right?
Right.
Now, what happened during that, right, was then they realized that they actually had this success. Now, if you think about it, probably around the time that Shovel Knight was finished, right, and the game was released, and even though they did have some funding for probably the DLC, they're probably running out of funds right now, because most of those funds would have already been upfront funds from Kickstarter, right? So they've already got that.
This was funded 6 years ago.
Yeah, they've already got their money. They've used that money, right? So now they've got a momentum running. They've actually got a huge amount of popularity. So what are we going to do? We're going to try and franchise out our brand and our character and slow down that process potentially and find other revenues and other avenues to bring in financing here, right? So you've got to look at the amiibos as potential financing. Probably sure anytime that he gets dropped into a game, any kind of merchandise, there's another revenue stream that's coming into Yacht Club games that allows Yacht Club to still functionally exist. Now, I'm not saying that they would just disappear if this didn't exist, but what we're actually doing is we're ensuring that a studio employing hardworking, talented people stays in existence. Does it suck? Totally. Did they bite off more than they could chew? Absolutely. You also have to remember they were the first ones out of the gate doing this. No one else had that success. So I am sure every single Kickstarter who's doing a game steps back and says, we are not doing what Shovel Knight did. We are not guaranteeing 4 DLCs or whatever many DLCs it is for the next 6 years, because artistically, creatively, they probably don't want to do that. Right. So I think this was a really smart idea. I mean, here's my statement. If slowing down the development of a DLC allows for the creation of new content, so we're seeing that through whether it's Dig, whether it's through the amiibo, whether it's franchising, whether it's Showdown, to ensure that this organization, this development, this studio stays open, you take your time, right? Because I would rather see developers that are good developers and good creators of content stay in existence and ensure that those people who are working hard and are creative continue to do what they want to do. Yeah, so that's my perspective from a.
No, I get that, and I'm glad that is the opposite side of this. I think that where I'm coming from is like, it's been so good, right? Like the whole Shovel Knight experience has been so good that this particular last leg of it has been super frustrating.
Yeah,
and it's been super frustrating because it's been like a roller coaster. It's been like, hey, I know you love Spectre Knight DLC. Well, King of Cards is going to be out 6 months. Well, then the 6 months comes and then it happens. And I guess where the frustration comes in for me is that it's like, I just want to play it, right? Like I'm anxious to play it. I know it's going to be good, but I do feel like that in the whole thing. And again, you're right. Like the whole 6 years of DLC is nuts, right? Because I mean, I originally played Shovel Knight back on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And Plague Knight on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and it's been 2 years now, almost 3 since the launch of Treasure Trove. So like, I get it, but I feel like that they're still, yes, they're accomplished. Yes, Shovel Knight took off more than they ever probably could have dreamed it would, but they're still making those learning steps, right? Because the learning step for them here should be no release dates until you're sure.
Sure. Yeah. And and I mean, I think that's
And I don't think anybody over at Yacht Club is going, man, you know what? I just have really enjoyed sitting on all of these cases of amiibos for the past 2 years. This has been a fantastic experience.
It's in somebody's like closet. They're like, God damn it, Mark, when are you going to move all these amiibo out of here? Right. Just sitting there packaged and ready.
It's just taken up. But I mean, because they have been, I mean, they were so close to release, right?
Yeah.
We had set release dates for these amiibo twice before this. And notice that in this, they didn't even say, they just said December. They didn't give you a date.
Yeah.
They just said December. And I also love the fact that alternately with Dig, and I don't want to overshadow Dig here with talking about the King of Cards. Dig has no release date. Did you notice that?
No, Dig was 2020. That was what they had. Oh, no, sorry. You're right. No release date. Yeah. It's so far in the future they don't know.
Probably going to be next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt that all of this is going to be spectacular. And let's talk about Dig for just a minute. For those of you who haven't seen it,
I saw a tweet by Image and Form.
Yeah.
Saying,
that felt like a bit of a passive aggressive statement.
As soon as I saw the name for it, I was like, "Holy crap! Image and Form is doing a Shovel Knight game."
Yeah.
And then instead, what we get is Shovel Knight meets Drill Dozer.
Yeah.
And it does it in a wonderful way. Like I love the like Shovel Knight already had a great aesthetic, but Nitro taking this and adding like that cartoony polish to it has just made it look fantastic. And I'm excited about playing it. I'm also a little more excited about does it have levels, or is it endless and you like fight a boss and then you go on to the next thing and you see how far you can get, and because they only release like 2 bosses right now, right?
Yeah.
Drill Knight and Spore Knight.
Yep.
And there'll probably be more. I mean, let's just be honest, there'll be more.
Yeah. It definitely looks fantastic, and I think from that was kind of one of the things that I was excited about. I was disappointed we didn't get any release dates for Cyber Ninja, right? That was disappointing. I was hoping for that. The other thing I do want to
see too much of it.
No, the other thing I want to bring to the attention as well is actually regarding Shovel Knight Showdown, which is part of this kind of package that they're building in as well, right? As part of the as the update to Shovel Knight. Interestingly enough, I saw this. Did you guys catch that Shovel Knight Showdown? The update is not available for 3DS and PS Vita.
I did not.
Pretty sure I saw that as well. So if you are like me, and that's where you have your Shovel Knight, and you want all these fancy schmancy stuff, you may have to update over to the Wii U. But again, chat, hey folks, what's going on? Maybe in the chat room, these amazing folks over in the chat room, maybe someone can correct me if I am wrong. Did they confirm that that's not coming to the 3DS? Sean Capri, do a goddamn job. Do my work. Find that for me, would you? I love you. Thank you. So there we go. Let's see if you can find
from one Canadian to another. Do my
exactly. Job. Welcome back, you hoser.
Right.
I'm never wrong.
While he's doing that, let's move on. Let's talk about a few other game announcements that came out this week.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Is that Disney? Is that Disney calling? Jesse, is that Disney calling?
Oh, give me a minute.
Jesse.
See, I closed iTunes. I didn't know you were gonna want me to do that again.
Oh my gosh. Jeez now. Come on,
They're calling, you just can't hear it yet. It's on mute.
Come on. All right. Well, fine. Yeah, we'll start singing A Whole New World.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a place that I can say that the live action Aladdin sucked?
Whoa! Shots fired.
It was terrible.
Real okay, honest on like hot take. No one replaces Robin Williams. You know what I mean? Like, God bless you for trying, but that it's just not going to happen, no matter what.
Will Smith as a genie was way less cringy than I thought it would be, but overall, let me frame this. All right, look here. I'm gonna frame this.
Yeah.
In the stop remaking animated movies.
Right. Yeah.
Stop it.
You're going to be disappointed.
Somebody needs to get out like that. I know. We're getting all of them. We're getting. But I'm just saying. You know what else? But you know what Disney can do to fix this? is remake some old area games.
Old SNES and Sega Genesis games.
Yeah.
That's what Disney's going to be doing.
Yeah,
so
and that's exactly what was announced this week out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
Right?
No one saw this coming. There was no like, do you hear the rumors? Do you hear the rumors that they're gonna re-release Aladdin for the Super Nintendo? What about the Lion King for the Sega Genesis? I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for it. Nobody was asking for this.
No,
but
you know what's funny about this?
Was happy about it.
This is what's funny about this is that people have been begging for Disney games to come to the Switch for years, but just not these Disney games.
Yeah, exactly. Now this is actually kind of interesting, right? So
it's a pleasant surprise.
A pleasant surprise. Did you guys play Aladdin or the Lion King? What about folks?
I freaking love the Genesis version of Aladdin. It's the superior version of it. Don't
add him.
Don't be about that SNES version. Look, the whole thing about the Disney Aladdin version on Sega Genesis is that Shiny, who is a developer of that game, which they're amazing, by the way, they actually hired animators from Disney to animate that game.
Nice.
You have some deep lore on this. Like I was not expecting that from you, Marty.
It's the best. It's the best version. The Capcom version, I get it. Like, it's okay. I played it and immediately was like, this is not the Genesis version. Trash.
Really? So are you excited for this? Are you going to picking these up? Yeah.
Yes. I cannot wait. Mainly because Disney Aladdin Genesis version was one of the game, like it's like Mega Man 2, man, it's a comfort game. Everybody has comfort games, right?
Yeah.
This is one of those. I would just go and I would play it for hours, and I would play just replay it over and over and over again. Nice. It's so good. Okay. It's so good.
Jesse, can we get some Lion King music?
Like, it has no right. It's one of those like licensed games, and you say this game has no right to be this good, but it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that was one of the things. I think that was, when I think of games back from the 80s and the 90s, that was one of those prime examples of a movie to game scenario that was actually good, right? Yeah. That was like, oh wow, that's really enjoyable, right? And that
it's rare.
The mom and dad could walk in. Oh, we saw the Lion King, we saw Aladdin. I suspect the same quality in these games as well. Here you go, right? So
let's talk about what's in this package. And by the way, before we talk about this, $30 for the physical version of this.
Yeah.
All right, $30 for the digital version of this, and you're going to get all of this. You're going to get Aladdin, which is the Genesis and the Master System version. You're also going to get
Genesis Master System is the same version. I just specified both.
No, it's not. It would be Genesis Mega Drive.
Mega Drive is what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's the Genesis version. You're also going to get the Game Boy version that you can play in. It's also the SNES version is going to be in there, but also the Game Boy version is going to be black and white or Super Game Boy mode, which is super cool. You're also going to get Aladdin Final Cut, which nobody knows what that is at this point. But it's going to be in there. Also, the Aladdin Trade Show demo, which has not been publicly available ever, was shown off in 1993 to advertise the game. That's going to be in there as well. No clue what that is. Probably just a couple of levels. But the level that's shown off is like Aladdin in like during the "You Got a Friend or You'll Never Have a Friend Like Me," the song, and him like running around Genie World that's made out of genie parts, which is weird. Also, the Lion King is going to be a part of this. The Genesis and Mega Drive version, the Super Nintendo version, and the Game Boy version with Super Game Boy mode as well. And standard museum-like content found in other collections also going to be in there. Music player, art gallery, all kinds of things. This is going to be in 1080p. All right, so you can choose to play it like that, or you can choose to do filters and stuff like that. This is the Legacy collection that nobody wanted, but everybody is hyped for now.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really interesting move, and I think the thing that I would not gloss over is that museum-like content in there, right? Allowing, I think they talked about having interviews, I think, with developers and art gallery and music, right? A real multimedia, a real kind of nostalgia and archive of a very interesting time in gaming culture, the late 90s, or sorry, early 90s, especially as it relates to Disney. I think this is a very interesting move, and the thing that interests me the most is what's next. So what I mean by that is, about a month and a half ago, we know that DuckTales slowly delisted off of some eShops, right, and some areas to reach it. DuckTales is owned by who? Disney. What is Disney doing? Are they pulling back all of their IPs, and are they going to be sending it back to us in some kind of collection form?
Here's what I think. With the DuckTales pull, I think it's because a new DuckTales game is coming.
Could be.
Based off the new TV show.
It could be.
Because the new TV show has just blown up. It's huge. And
I'm a fan. There's more episodes. I don't know if it's. I think it's still season 2. But
listen, they've got it into. They're going to have, like, they have introduced Tailspin into the DuckTales universe. They're introducing Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. They're doing full Disney afternoon.
Yeah, well,
right?
They originally introduced Darkwing Duck as a show that was on in the past, but revamped it to be in continuity now, where the actor who played Darkwing Duck in the show is now the new Negaduck.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love it. Look,
so kind of like an Adam West
kind of along
role.
what Justin was saying. If you look at the packaging for this game, there is a Disney, like, it says like Disney Classic Games or something like that. And they have, I'm just going to, like, the speculation I have is you don't go to the trouble to make a logo.
Do you remember
something's not coming down the pike?
Yeah. Do you remember the like, it's going into the Disney vault? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs out for a limited time. Now. Get it now before it goes back into the vault for who knows how long. Right? This is what Disney's now doing, but they're going to do it instead of our nostalgia for movies. It's going to be video games, and we are going to pay buckets of money for it. Yes, now, so long as they continue this idea of this museum kind of archiving and work around it, then it becomes this kind of like behind the scenes. This, I think, is interesting. This could now be the next, like when you buy a Blu-ray, it's like behind the scenes of Avengers with Robert Downey Jr. and blah, blah, blah. If they do this right, this can land to be like the new behind the scene featurettes of video games that we can find very interesting, because we have, again, this nostalgia for it. So I think this is very interesting to see. I'm interested to see what happens here as well.
If they pulled DuckTales off digital storefronts to re-release it physically with the original NES DuckTales and DuckTales 2, all as one package, of course I'm going to buy it.
Done, son, done. Yeah. So, but you know what? I'm actually shocked, Marty, that you're not done from the rest of this week, because it's been a big week for you, buddy. It's been a massive week for you with announcements of game collections, because of course, Mega Man Zero ZX, the Legacy collection, also got announced this week, consisting of 6 games: Mega Man 0, 2, 3, 4. And then the game ZX and ZX Advent, which were part of the Nintendo DS collection. I'm assuming that, like, you are so hyped it's hard to get you to sit down right now. Am I right?
Here comes the hate mail.
The look on Marty's face right now.
Are you a fair weather Mega Man fan?
No.
I thought you were through and through Blue Bomber.
Oh no. Well, there's no Blue Bomber in these games. You know what?
Is that the issue?
You know what is in this is anime butt rock Mega Man is what this is.
Welcome to late 90s, early aughts.
Oh, I hate it. It's terrible.
Really?
These games are god awful. They don't even look or resemble Mega Man games. I'm sorry. Now, if they did a Battle Network collection, I'm all about that. Up to a point. But like Y'all, I don't know. I played the first Mega Man Zero, and I just could not stand it, and I didn't even buy any of the
It's
others.
like the
So you-
chat's giving
so-
their torches and
Yeah.
pitchforks there, Marty.
Yeah, wow. Shell Shock Prime and Mecha Dragon are going at it right now on this one for going for you for.
Come on in. Come on in.
All right.
It's okay to have unpopular opinions.
Okay.
I have lots of them.
All right. So
I
no
mean,
more.
Do
So
we
no
want
rock.
to just? Yeah, I may buy it because I've never played most of the games.
Right.
But
Okay.
I don't have any affinity for these games.
So
whatsoever.
Nintendo Dad's community, what's the over and under on Marty buying this game? Like
Oh,
the day it comes out.
It's
Peer
bought. There's no over under. It's 100%. It's happening. I'm going to buy the game, but because it's Mega Man. And
Right.
Mega Man, like if something with the word Mega Man on it comes out, I'm going to buy it so that Capcom will make Mega Man 12.
Right. Okay.
Legends
Right.
3.
You're a supporter no matter what.
Right.
Good.
But
Okay.
I mean, that's why I bought the X collection, because everybody knows that the only good Mega Man X games are X1 and X2. So
Fair enough. All right.
3 is probably in there too. But can I tell you a sad and tragic story
Sure.
of a teenager who could not find Mega Man X3 in stores anywhere because Capcom didn't produce enough of the game, and it was at the end of the Super Nintendo life cycle, and I've never played it. Not even on the Legacy Collection. I
Wow.
haven't got around to it.
Who
So I
was
don't know
that?
if I like Mega Man X3 or not.
Who was that sad boy?
That was
Who
me.
was it? Oh, was he? Oh, wow! I didn't see the twist. I
Yeah.
didn't see that coming. I did. I had no clue. That was out
Uh,
of nowhere. Out of nowhere, that was here.
Can we mention one thing about this game that I think is interesting
Sure.
about this
Yeah.
collection? It says that the ZX games, which were the ones on the DS, right, will have both DS screens visible at once with multiple ways to rearrange the screens. Now, that sounds really good for playing docked. I think that's going to be terrible for playing handheld.
Yeah, those
I
screens
think
get
you are
small.
right.
It's going to
I
be
would.
it's going to be atrocious.
I would agree.
This would be a good candidate for flip grip if they have that orientation.
Oh, yes.
That's a good point.
Bring me all of the DS games with flip grip compatibility. Yes. If it would do it that way, it's fine. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be too smushed.
Probably.
It's going to look all
Smush it.
thin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey,
I like it.
Slightly related, off topic here. I think it was Nintendo Life had a poll of how do you pronounce this, and they had like 4 similarly or 2 to 4 ways to pronounce a word, and tate was one of them.
it's Tate.
It is not
Tate.
Tate. It is tate.
Ta-ta.
Tate mode. It's like
Ta-ta.
Tata.
Ta-ta.
78% of people admitted to not speaking it correctly, and that got me off. I was not happy with that.
The only reason that I know that it's Tate mode is you.
And also,
That's
just
it.
no one wants to call it the taint mode. All right. So here's what we're gonna do, folks. I want to move on to our next component here.
I think we just
get us
got the
moving.
yellow dollar sign.
We may have. It's tough to say. It's Justin's first thing back. I saw in the chat someone's like, Justin's coming back sweary. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'll get the Irish out of me one day. All right. So, folks, a couple of things I do want to say that you should keep your eyes on that's happened this week. Marty mentioned earlier, Astral Chain. It's coming out. It may be out right now, depending on your region.
It's been out for 20
it's out.
minutes. in North America.
And you guys are still here. I don't know what's going on. So, guys, we are excited. We do not yet have a review copy. Nintendo did not provide us a copy at this point, but do expect to hear a lot more of our coverage. Coming up.
10 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm also picking up my copy. I think everyone except for Jesse is, and that's okay. So, guys, if you're waiting for our coverage and our information on it, you'll have more.
I've talked about my
insight.
dislike of Platinum games before.
Yeah, you'll have more of our insight next week, but we do watch for some coverage this weekend, some early impressions, some Let's Plays, some discussion videos probably later in the week as well. So if you're waiting to kind of hear what we think, like our opinion really matters, you can do that. I'll tell you when it's going to come out, that kind of stuff. But it is scoring quite well right now. I think it's like 85 to 90 on Metacritic. I think IGN gave it a 9. So it sounds like it's landing.
Bomb gave it
Giant
a
Bomb.
9.
Yeah, so it's It's landing really well. I'm super hyped for it. It's actually probably, I think, the game I'm the most excited for in 2019 right now. So super excited.
Can we say right here, right now, possible game of the year contender?
I don't think you can because you haven't played it yet. You're getting a little fancy pants.
No.
This is from
I'm
the
just saying
man
based
who said
off on what I
11
see.
out of 10.
Yeah,
Shut your mouth, Jesse. That 11 out of 10 was valid. Mario Odyssey is a thing of gold.
it is.
Over to you, Marty.
No, but what I'm saying is the just the hype, not just hype from like people who are like, oh, this looks good, but the reviews across the board saying it's solid, including content wise, not just the game, the main story, but everything wrapping it together.
I'm giving you a bit of a hard time, Marty. I don't disagree. I think this very well could be a high contender for it. It will be interesting to see what some of the other games land out for the rest of the year. But I do suspect this will be probably a very high contender.
We live in a world where Nier Automata can be considered as a game of the year, and people are comparing this to that.
Yeah,
very heavily.
Yeah, so again, guys, we'll have more coverage coming out soon as well. Some more other coverages or information that leaked out or I shouldn't say leaked out, but it was released this week was folks who got their hands on the Nintendo Switch Lite have had some previews and some updates about it as well. We are not those people. So if you are looking for information on it, I would encourage you to go to a great many places. Of course, our good friends over at Game Explain have some information on it as well in video, some hands-on. But a lot of the major publishers, a lot of the major sites, I think IGN as well, have.
Hey, former guest of the show, Abdallah, has a video
that's
about
right.
it.
Thank you, Abdallah.
It's a very good video. I highly recommend his.
Yeah, Abdallah. So go check that out as well if you're looking for it.
The main news that you need to know about the Nintendo Switch is Switch Lite is this. It will fit in your pocket, but not if you wear skinny jeans.
Yeah. Well, if you're wearing skinny jeans, you need to reconsider a lot of your life decisions. All right. So that's you can put that on a box or a label or something as well.
Can we make a sticker out of that?
Yeah. Don't at me either. Right. I don't trust a man in skinny jeans. Right? Fair enough. I just don't. Also, I have a pair of skinny jeans. What does it say about me? I don't know.
You don't trust yourself.
I don't trust myself. All right. That's kind of some of the news and information that's going on this week, guys. Thank you very, very much. Adam in our chat, who I think he has had hands on it, he's saying for obviously the Switch it's a solid handheld, and he's very impressed. Of course, that is Adam Ruffle from Game Reviewer, I believe, as well. So good friend of our show and good friend of our content. So thank you, Adam. He's been in there kind of keeping us honest and keeping us on pace, which I appreciate. Should we jump into what we've been playing?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Do it, Jesse. Touch the buttons, Jesse.
All right. So here's the thing. You have not been on the show in 2 months.
Yeah.
And so you had to have been playing some games. It's probably pin up in you like a high school senior on prom night. All right. And so I don't even know where that came from.
I don't know.
Anime lover on prom night.
I'm glad you're back in the show. I'm glad you're back on the show.
Promo?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's there you go. And so Masson, this is all you right here. We want to know what you've been playing in this mysterious ethereal hiatus. What have you been doing?
Yeah, so a couple things that I have been playing. I'm gonna give you like really quick overviews because everyone else in this group has already talked about them.
Fire Emblem. Go ahead and say it.
I have not. No, not my cup of tea. Right? You're gonna find me playing that after you find me drowning in Picross games. That's not gonna happen. So what have I been playing? I have been playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I feel like I got peer pressured into that one from this group, but I have been enjoying that. I like the fact that I don't need to think when I'm playing that game. Do you know what I mean? It's press button, smash button. It does its thing. So that's good. New update for DLC comes out actually today or the 30th. Yeah, the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Some new skins for that, some free skins, and then obviously they have some DLC planned. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that one. So that's been going well, and I know the lads talked about that before. Eagle Island was actually one that I played. Marty, you talked about Eagle Island, roguelite, 16-bit kind of.
So good.
Such a great game. That was actually the game I played for my entire flight from Ireland to Canada. Was that game? So it was I really like that one. So if you guys haven't checked out Eagle Island, I'd highly recommend it. And again, full transparency, we were given a review code for that one as well. But I really, really enjoyed that. What else have we been playing? Fortnite Season 10. Here's what I have been doing, which has been really, really fun. I have a friend, when we got back from Canada, we were living with him and his wife for about 2 weeks. And I got him hooked into Fortnite. And so now he's really into it. And so we had 2 Switches at his house. So we brought another TV. So we had 2 TVs in the same room playing Fortnite together on the same team. That was a blast. That was so much fun. We were playing duos together. Then we were playing Rumble. And that was fantastic, to a point now that every Sunday night he comes over here at 9:00 and we play till about 2 a.m. It's like we're 16-year-old kids eating Doritos and drinking Orange Crush, playing Fortnite, and it is awesome fun. So that has kind of been a lot of my gaming. So, and also the other thing I have been doing a little bit of gaming on as well, if people are interested, I finally in my studio have got set up proper recording content, and I have been doing some streaming on Twitch. So I'm getting a little bit more into that. So kind of make sure you guys check that out if you guys want. Subscribe to us on Twitch, and then when I start streaming, you can kind of watch it if you want to. I'm learning how to do stuff on Twitch. But yeah, that's kind of what I have been playing. But I am excited. I am ready. My docket is cleaned and ready for Astral Chain. I am pumped.
You're excited about this game.
John Blanco asks, when you said Fire Emblem is not my cup of tea, if that was an intentional pun or unintentional.
John Blanco, what do you think? I'm just going to let that hang there. I'm going to let you figure that out all by yourself.
I said I think it was unintentional because I'm not sure even know what that would be referring to.
Tea. It's referring to tea.
He doesn't. He has no clue.
I have no clue, John. So if it came out well, then I'm brilliant. I'm a mastermind.
Here's
if not, I'm a complete
you want to
fool.
know what it's about? You can
Probably
have tea time in the game with people.
I can
bizarre.
Oh my god, I can't deal with this, folks. I can't. I'm going to be really honest with you.
And funny part is, this is the part of the game that makes me really close to buying it. Is the part that leans towards Persona.
Mecha Dragon. There are segments where you can have tea with your teachers. I'm done with that. All right. I'm gonna tell you some honest inside baseball though, folks. So we got this review code for Fire Emblem. It came into us. Nintendo UK was kind of sends copy. And I know that some of these other guys had some of the other big stuff on their docket. They were working. I think you were working on Dragon Quest Builders, Jesse. I think Marty, you had Ultimate Alliance. So we were kind of like full out. And I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's super busy right now except for me. And we have this Fire Emblem code. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I can't, it's not going to go well. And then I was like, no, Justin, you need to be a bigger man. You need to open your mind to Fire Emblem. So I watched some trailers and I was like, I was shutting them down. I was like, I can't do this. And so when we put it out there, it was like, anyone interested in this code? And then Tim was like, I'll do it. I was like, oh, Tim, thank you so much. You've saved me from what was going to be probably the worst time of my life. But if you're playing,
can I say something? I know this is not it's not gonna sway your opinion, at all. But as someone who is like a fringe Fire Emblem fan, I like the idea of Fire Emblem, but I haven't really enjoyed the games of the past. Yeah. I'm having a ton of fun with this one.
And and I've always said this, and I will always say this about how I approach other people's liking of games, right? So there is the caricature of Justin a little bit, right? Turn things up a little bit, be a little bit loud, be a bit obnoxious. Here's the way that I look at things. As long as you enjoy the game and it brings you fun and enjoyment, that's what's important, right? I pick at Jesse for Picross. I just don't like it, but I love the fact that there are games that Jesse's super passionate about and enjoys. And if other people are, I
put 50 hours of Picross games in the last 6 weeks.
Exactly, right? If other people are super
passionate, more than one game.
Yeah, if other people are super passionate about Fire Emblem or whatever those games are for you, whatever that is in your wheelhouse that you're passionate about, I am so happy those exist for you. Do you know what I mean? Because there are probably games that I play that you're like, oh my god, Fortnite again? You're an idiot, right? So, but I think the fact that we can just like the fact that people have other things is it. So this is a little bit of the don't at me, and maybe eventually I'll come back to Fire Emblem and give it an honest crack. But I got too much going on. So that's kind of what I've been playing. That's my crazy world. Yeah, I'm excited. Although I'm going to say this. I'm excited about there's some stuff in the Nindy showcase that I was excited about that I'm interested in. There's a lot coming up in the next 6 months that I'm like just going to be poor. Do you know what I mean? Just flat poor.
September is
Beefy.
Yeah.
Beefy is a great way to describe it.
So that was my wrestling name in college, Beefy.
There's a big
All
beefy
right.
arm.
Jesse, what are you playing?
Okay, let me scroll back down because I just added the possible title to the top. Okay, so I played more of the Grande HD collection. I'm like 7 hours into the first game, and at first what I said in Twitter is I kind of liked how I didn't like the town play, like a lot of like fetch questy stuff or talk to this person, then talk to this person, especially with the way the towns are set up that requires you to rotate the camera 3D. I'm not a fan of this, but I was okay with the first dungeon. I was okay with that. I'm now in what's probably considered the second dungeon, and not liking it as much anymore because I've literally tried to find the exit and I ended up at the start 4 times.
Oh wow!
Because I have to rotate the camera so many times, I'm turning myself around, and there's no in-game map. So that would help, but it's not there. And I don't want to try to graph a 3D map on a 2D paper, because that's not going to work.
Yep.
So, I'm at the point where I'm probably going to need a walkthrough or just abandon this game and try the second one, which I have been told is the superior game of the two.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. Then I also put more time into Dragon Quest Heroes on the PS4. Think I'm like 27 hours in now.
Wow.
I'm at the point where the big bad dragon is going to come up in a few days. So I have a few days to kind of get other side quests done before the story quest kicks back in again. And these every character has their own specific side quest to do, where they have to be in the party. And of course, I've used the same 4 people through 95% of the game, so 6 other people have never been used. They still level up, but it means I have to still buy better weapons and armor for them. I have to allocate this 250 unused skill points per character before I can even try to put them on the field. And then these quests are significantly more difficult than the previous story quests. So I may have to jump around, see if I can find one that I can do, or just go back and grinding, because I don't think I can get, because these are basically to get their ultimate weapons.
Okay.
So I've done on the 2 main characters I have like Erdrick's sword and the Zethian sword and shield set. I'm trying to get everyone else caught up, and that's where it's rough. But maybe if I get 1 or 2 have done, it'll make things easier for the others.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
So I'm still having fun with that. Then again, I talked about Pokemon Masters a little bit.
Yep.
I won't talk about that more. If people want to ask me questions about it, go ahead and send me questions on Twitter.
I'm wondering, Jesse, and here's just we're a little bit of inside show baseball stuff here. I know that like your videos that you did for Pokemon Go seem to go really well in the videos. Like you almost did tutorials. I wonder if we should do stuff like that for Pokemon Masters.
I actually tried doing that last night, but I had a problem getting the audio from my iPad into the stream.
Okay.
And there was server problems at the time, so it would have been a lousy stream anyway.
Sure.
But I'm not sure. If I think about it and can get my iPad set up to record, that might work. But it's before when I did it with Pokemon Go, I was using the phone's direct record feature, then exporting the audio, the video.
Yep.
Here I was trying to AirPlay it through my Apple TV, so it's a little bit. I had it working back when I played the Dr. Mario on the iPad, and that worked pretty well. But so I'm sure I just have something muted that needed to turn up again.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
Okay. And then the last game is a new game that came out today called Agent A Puzzle in Disguise.
Yes.
It's little like a 5-chapter game. I'm in the middle of chapter 2. It's kind of like one of those escape rooms, puzzle box type of things. So like chapter 1, you are a spy trying to catch an enemy spy. You're in her house and she traps you in it.
Okay.
So first you have to, we ultimately need to catch her, but the first thing is you need to disable the alarm system so you can get out of the house. Right. And then I ended up I finished chapter 1, noticed that there was a lot of puzzles I had started but didn't complete yet. So was wondering, because other not chapter based, but other puzzle box games I tried, when I finished one, it moved on to the other and never went back. But this, I still have access to the previous rooms.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Now that I'm in chapter 2, I have like 10 rooms available to me, including the ability to go back outside and look around the corner and look at the shed, which is where I got stuck, and that was the next step, is I needed to find the shed.
Okay.
So now that I found that like 10 minutes before we started recording, so I'll be getting back to that.
Okay.
And then
some more.
Yeah. So if I've played for 30 to 45 minutes, and I'm in chapter 2 of 5, so again, probably not a long game. And then I still do plan on playing Dragon Quest 11 demo. I just haven't gotten to that yet. But again, I still have. I figure I have 3 weeks before the game launches, so I've got a little time. Yeah,
a lot on the docket, but a lot of good things. So that's good. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Jesse. Jesse, also, when you get a chance, there's some questions in the chat about Pokemon Go. So maybe if you can answer those, because I don't want to speak on your behalf. That'd be brilliant. Mr. Estes, what are you playing?
Well, I haven't had a lot of time to play any games this week, and so I put nothing of note in the doc. But I have put about an hour and a half extra into Dragon Quest 11 demo. So really enjoying that so far. Still not sure that it's like going to convince me to buy the game, but it's fun. So I'm just going to play it out till the end and then make a decision. But y'all, I'm still stuck on Mario Maker 2. Like I dip into Mario Maker 2 at least once a day just to go to the popular levels and see what's there.
That's great.
And I'm really still enjoying it. Like I have made 2 levels, but like I'm not really into making levels for some reason right now. Just playing them more than anything. So that's relaxing to me to go in and find, a few levels and play them. And then I'd be like, okay, I've played for 30 minutes. I'm done. Right.
Yep.
So that in a busy week like this, it's kind of catch as catch can. So I was really hoping to put some more time into Fire Emblem, but I also made the really stupid excuse or made the stupid mistake of Monday night of this week. I just, for some reason, I could not sleep, and I got up and I've been watching a show, and I had like 6 or 7 episodes of it that like had got on my DVR that I hadn't gotten through.
Yep.
And so I was like, I'm not tired. I'm going to go in here and watch one of these. At 5 a.m., I realized that I was not going to bed that night.
Right.
And I'd finished the series. So I felt terrible. Tuesday was junk. So that, kind of contributed to not playing many games this week.
Sure. That's fair. Get yourself well rested for Astral Chain, right? So cool. So that is kind of what we've been playing. Let's jump into Community Spotlight. Marty, there's some questions in our Patreon, I believe, right?
Yeah,
from our
absolutely.
So maybe we can rapid fire those ones, and I can give like 30-second answers to the ones that we were directed.
Okay.
Cool. Let's go to Community Spotlight.
Hold up right here. Yeah, Jesse, get that music. All right, before we get to those Patreon questions, we had a guy message us on Twitter this week that he had asked a question a couple episodes ago, and we had mistakenly forgot it. And I want to be sure that we get to this first. It's from R. Kern. is his Twitter handle, rkern. And here's his questions. Hey, Nintendo dads, love the show. I'd love to know your thoughts about Nintendo's strategy or lack thereof regarding its back catalog. We're now hearing rumors of SNES games making it to the Switch. This is nice, but we had SNES on Wii, Wii U, and 3DS, all paid, by the way. Why, oh why, doesn't Nintendo just go whole hog and make their entire back catalog on all systems open for a monthly fee? Or at least do something like Xbox with Game Pass and release a few dozen titles from each platform and rotate them out. I would think the Big N can work through licensing and other challenges. It seems like a sound model, and it would hold up for years, and certainly people like me would happily pay for it. What do you all think, RJ? Masson, what do you think about that?
So I mean, my initial thought was licensing, because I do think there's some licensing issues they would have to work through. But you are right; they've got enough money that they could figure that problem out. I think what Nintendo is really careful about is the user experience, right? That's something that they very much value and very much treasure. And I think potentially, what is the remapping, or what does the work look like to remap, I don't know, Super Mario Sunshine over to a Nintendo Switch controller, or Joy-Cons with the grip. So there's a little bit of extra work there that might have to happen. And then in doing so, does that change the game fundamentally for what they want it to be, right? The direction and the outcome and the experience. And I think that the Nintendo is very safeguarded about that experience component of it. Does it make sense for them to open their catalog and basically just have a go at it like a pass? Absolutely does. That would be a brilliant play for them to do, I think, and I think they'd make a bucket ton of money. But I think it's the investment of I think mapping that's a challenge potentially. So yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. The other part of it is also that, like, they know we're going to repay for Super Nintendo games, right?
Right.
I'm going to buy my, I don't know. So when the Super Nintendo Online stuff comes out, I will have my 4th copy of Super Metroid. Why? I don't know, but I feel like I need to buy it for every single platform.
Right.
So they also know that we'll just keep paying for it. So I'd love to see them move into the N64, and I'd love for them to dabble into the GameCube. But I don't know why. They got to fix that problem.
Yeah, I think that with just like you said, the opening up of the whole back catalog opens a whole new can of worms, right? I'm not trying to be silly about it, but it like there's several issues that opens up. Like Control is one of them, right? But the other thing too is that it's not just like take these games and dump them on a system, right? There has to be some development that goes there. And I think we forget too easily too that with the NES games coming out on NES Online, they are online.
Yeah.
So there's some additional work that's had to be done to those games as well. Did we really want that? No, but
I think that was more
it's
of
there.
the emulator than the games themselves. But still, extra work needed to be done.
There is additional funding, right? And I think that the further into the generations you go, the more complex potentially it could be, right? And I think that causes issues.
Yeah. Which is back in the day, I said that we would never see a Pokemon game in Virtual Console because it would require changing of the netcode to make a multiplayer work, and I thought they'd never do it. I was proven wrong. Gladly, I will accept that.
Right, like let's be straight honest. Like, if in this direct in a couple weeks from now, they're like, "Oh, by the way, welcome Mario Sunshine, welcome," then like we're all gonna be like, "Yeah, right." Like, prove me wrong. I'd love for that to happen, but knowing the way they play ball, yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Honestly, I really feel like we would get a remake of Sunshine before we'd get a Virtual Console copy of it. But
I think that would have to be remade
in a perfect world,
analog shoulders.
In a perfect world, in a dream state, yes. Open the entire back catalog. I would gladly pay, what's Xbox Live a year? $60?
Yep.
Roughly, I would pay $65 to have access
Game Pass
to
is a separate thing from Live, but it's like $10 a month.
I would pay Game Pass prices.
Yeah,
right.
You know what, Adam makes a great point in the chat. I love this, and he's 100% right. Right, it goes back to what we were talking about before. Adam says GameCube won't ever happen on that model. Too many of those titles are too appealing. Remaster it and snag it for $60 or $80 Canadian. Yep. You're like, if they came out and said, by the way, we have remastered, Mario, Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door, or Sunshine, or the original Pikmin, or Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to pay for it, right? Like, and that's the other thing. Nintendo's really good at repurposing their old games and you paying for them again, right? And just a new skin, right? Look at Luigi's Mansion. Remember how it was a GameCube game, and now, by the way, it's on the 3DS. Boom, there you go, right? So they're really good at just taking what you want but giving it to you a different way.
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's you're totally right. Let's hit some of these Patreon questions.
Do it.
There's some of these are directed just at you.
Sure, we'll rapid fire these suckers.
Tim Off, what are your plans for Nintendo Dads now that you're back in North America?
Well, I think the first plan that you're discovering here is that I'm going to rule this entire podcast. I am going to take over and burn the sucker to the ground, probably get us an explicit R rating soon. I'm excited for those things.
Any plans on going to a major video game event?
I'm hoping to. So I'm hoping to go to PAX West or PAX East. We have some initial plans that we're trying to work around, potentially going to PAX East in 2020, PAX West in 2020, also maybe part of my docket. I would love to go to something like E3, but having gone to Gamescom, I don't know if it's as big of a draw for me. I kind of love the setup that we're doing, and I'd love to get more invested in our streaming platforms to be able to do that. The other component of that, Honest Tim, as you say, is back on the north or back on the American side here. I want to get us into streaming more, and I want to be doing more streaming of games I'm playing and offer more content as well. So that is a big thing that I'm hoping to do now that we're back here.
Yeah, I mean, just totally disregard the fact that I've been asking to go to PAX for 3 years.
It's in the plans. I said that.
I'm just busting you over, man. It's fine.
Sure.
We'll meet up there. It's gonna be awesome. Finally, I'm gonna get to meet you. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. We're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do. It's gonna be crazy. Bruce Patterson asked you this: are you gonna stay at Tim Hortons?
Absolutely, stay at Tim Hortons. That's national pride. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is tattooed on my body. A large double.
What's a double, by the way? Because you mentioned this twice. Because you say double down here. I'm thinking of like In-N-Out Burger. If you go get a double there, it's double cheese, double meat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it's 2 cream, 2 sugar. That's what a double is. Yeah. They've also got this thing here called, and I guess this is big, and I didn't realize this was big until I got back to Canada, or back on the north side, but back in North America, which is the plant-based meat. The heck is going on there? I'm gone for 2 years, and you come back with plant-based meat?
Can I tell you this, that with you being gone for 2 years, we don't sanction that. All right? Like, that's no, I don't know. Like, I don't know anybody. I've never met a person who's like, you know what I want to do? I want to take some plants and make them look like a hamburger and taste like a hamburger.
Yeah.
If I want that, I'm just going to go get a freaking hamburger.
So here's what's going to happen, folks. I've seen this as part of a sausage patty they have here at Tim Hortons. My next trip to Tim Hortons, I'm going to do a live stream of me tasting a plant-based meat sausage. And I will stream that.
If you'll do that, I will go and I will buy the Impossible Whopper.
All right, what's that?
You know, it is Burger King's 100% non-meat hamburger.
All right.
I had that. It wasn't bad.
Huh.
Don't spoil it, Jesse.
Okay, well, you can have your own experience with it.
Yeah.
All right.
So it wasn't bad. Okay.
All right.
So it tastes like a burger. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, it tasted fine. I think I had that side by side with a real Whopper, and they tasted. I remember. I don't remember
one
them.
In each hand.
Well, I did it bunless because I'm keto, but so I had. But I don't remember a significant difference.
Nice.
That's cool. John Blanco asks us this. Hey, when does Astral Chain come out again?
It's out now, John Blanco.
52
it's out
minutes
now.
ago.
Yeah. Hype is real, son. Hype is real.
Then Nick Metzger says it's Mustin Jason and his trusty master sword, the Green Rag.
So first foremost, I love that. Second, I'm a little bit concerned about the green rag part. I don't know where that's coming from, but Nick, let me know. Let me know what I'm missing here. I also
Yeah.
my brain might not be operating right now.
Last question here from Cat Janitor. This is a really cool question, by the way. He says, "How did each of you choose your Nintendo Dad's avatar character? What would your second choice be?" Mine is Fox, obviously, but the story of my screen name comes from an unfortunate Halloween costume I wore one year when my family didn't have any money. I was Fox McCloud, but I got called Cat Janitor more than once. I think the jumpsuit color and the orange fox ears were a bad choice.
Okay. Mine. That's actually a great story, though. I love that. I was wondering for a while why it was Cat Janitor. I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave that one be. Why is my avatar Donkey Kong? Because he is my absolute favorite character. He is the best character. And so my second place character would be Donkey Kong with his foot on the head of Mega Man, crushing it, because nobody cares about that. And he's a horrible character. I got you, Marty. I got you right here. You know what? I don't forget when you cut him from my list. I will bring you down, son. That is why you are not going to E3. That is why you're not going to PAX. Justin out.
American dream.
See, let me tell you something there, Daddy. You think you can come back to the show all the way from across the pond over there and take over? No. You see, the American dream, what are you going to do? The reason he picked the Mega Man is because Mega Man is a character for the working man, right? He takes all the jobs, he mixes them up, he destroys all the evil robots, lets people get back to work, get back to their lives. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what he'll do? He'll kill that monkey and take his powers too, even though they suck.
Well done. Good response. I am
Now,
impressed.
so I picked
This
Mega
wasn't
Man
even
because,
pre-planned. That was like
right. I picked Mega Man because Mega Man 2 is probably my favorite video game of all time, and I like there's so much nostalgia for me that surrounds that game. Not just playing the game itself, but like in my life at that time. Like I have very distinct memories of getting Mega Man 2 for the first time, playing it for the first time, like calling my dad and getting him out of a meeting when I was a kid to tell him I had beaten Dr. Wily. And I'm sure he was like now as a parent, I'm like, yeah, kid, whatever, you know. I'm sure that's what he was like too when it was. But I love that game. Justin, who was your? By the way, before I say mine, who was your second choice going to be? Really?
Other than my
stepping on Mega.
I actually don't really know. I think my second choice might be Luigi.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
you know what I'm saying.
Choice. That's a good choice. I think if my second choice would have been Bowser.
Nice,
because that's my main in Smash.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what? I may have changed my vote. Toon Link.
Ah.
Yeah, there it is.
That's a good one too.
I wanted to do a Legend of Zelda rep, but I didn't want to be Link. Because, but I wanted to have a little fun with it, so I picked Tingle as my rep because he is, when we started the show, I was 40 years old, so according to Majora's Mask, he is a 35-year-old grown man who wants to become a fairy. Right. So, kind of. Yeah, I mean, he's probably the closest character I associate with out of anybody.
Well, that, and I think the fact that you have a green full body, unitar that you wear around for most of the show recordings, I think also helps make that connection.
I was out in the yard the other day, and Jesse was just floating over the house in some balloons.
He was just some
balloons. He was like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm going back to Kansas City."
Yep, that's exactly
it. He had been to Minnesota to visit Tim.
Yes, in Minnesota.
So when I did the Zelda Symphony a few years ago, there was a guy dressed as Tingle.
Yes, I remember that.
So who would be your second?
Yeah, who'd be your second?
I'm thinking probably someone like a Final Fantasy or a Dragon Quest rep.
Nice.
I don't know who in Final Fantasy I'd want to be. Probably one of the someone from 6. But if it was a Dragon Quest, probably like Erdrick or one of the big named protagonists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I was thinking this would be a great question to turn around to our community.
Yep.
And ask them on Twitter and Facebook and wherever you can respond to us. If you could be any avatar from a game, a Nintendo game, has to be a Nintendo game because we're Nintendo dads. Duh. Right? Yeah. If you could do it, who would be your pick? We want to know.
I see that Adam actually in our chat has responded with Yoshi. Yoshi says, it's a good one. Nice.
Very
Sweet.
Good. So we've got a couple of questions over on Twitter.
Let's do it.
And so I'm going to pull those up.
I also have one email and something I want to ask from the chat when everything else is gone.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool. So, besides Justin being on the show tonight, he also decided to announce via Twitter that he was going to be back tonight. And so Twitter's being a jerk right now and not pulling these up. Total jerk.
Oh, really? Let's see if I can find some. See
what you can find because it's not doing it.
I'll do my email while you're searching then.
Sounds good.
This is from Nathan. This question will most likely be directed towards Jesse, as he is the Picross guy on this podcast. My Switch has become a Picross machine as of recent. I'm looking for recommendations on what grip I should use, since I mostly play in handheld. I'm told the asymmetric design of the Satisfy grip is great for shooters. Which grip do you recommend for puzzle games? So I don't use a grip, so I'm probably not the right person to answer this. When I play handheld, I just play it handheld as is. But I think Marty has the most experience with the various grips and may be able to get a better answer.
Yeah, so I've got the Flip grip and I've got Satisfy, and I also got the Skull and Company grip, or Skull and Co., however you want to say it. And bottom line is there is no better grip than the Satisfy grip. It's just fantastic. And they actually have a new version of that is coming out, I believe, in October, that they're taking pre-orders for right now, and you can get some money off for that. So if you head over to satisfy.com, that's SATISFYE.com. You can check that out.
Yeah, he mentioned the Satisfy grip in the email and spelled it right.
Right. So basically just some minor changes to the grip itself and making it a little more user-friendly. Some people have complained that the initial grip scratched their Joy-Cons or scratched their screen, the back plate of the Switch, and they've done some things to fix that. They've done some things to alleviate those ideas. And it also, you come with a new, it comes with a case. The slim case is fantastic. But there's also a bigger case that will fit a full external battery pack as well as 20 games. And you can get there's all kinds of packages on there that you can get. And also the old grip, I guess they're trying to sell these out. They're marked down for a set time. I love mine. I travel everywhere with it. Highly recommended. Satisfy grip. It doesn't, you can't do Tate mode and things with it, but just for comfort, if you play a lot of handheld like I do, that's the way to go. Bottom line.
Right. Great.
All right. So I got those Twitter questions up and running here for you.
Let's do it.
So Justin, I think we've already answered this one, but maybe you could speak to it a little bit. Again, John Blanco asked us, I want to know how much nicer it is to do the show at night versus early morning.
Yeah, if I'm being so I think we had a good joke about it earlier, right? But if I'm being really honest, John, it's fantastic, right? So because we were recording at Thursday night, it was Friday morning in Ireland, and it really, to be honest, it actually really messed up my weekend. If I'm being very honest with you, so we're gonna try and be cautious of Gary as well, and have him come on when he feels like he wants to be on. I want to be cautious of his sleep schedule because that's a really tough ride, right? You're getting up at about 3:00 in the morning, podcasting, and then I found I was pretty exhausted by about 9 or 10 o'clock at night on Friday. It's in the work week, and then my Saturday I was dragging a little bit as well. So I'm excited to kind of have some energy.
It does again. Even though and I feel that sometimes too, even though it's late, on Thursday night when we do this, Fridays sometimes, depending on how late we go, is shot.
Yeah,
my Friday morning is rough. but normally around noon I'm back to normal.
Yeah. Shy Guy asks you this: does the Switch really run better when stacked 3 high and smothered in maple syrup?
It absolutely does. The challenge, though, Shy Guys, it's stickier. It's stickier, but we also tend to just play them naked, so that makes it even stickier. But yeah, it's good.
The trick is detach the Joy-Cons before you smother the 3 stacked Switches in syrup, right?
Yep, exactly.
Right. It really increases the performance power.
It does.
Something.
Yeah. So also, Big Bad Bob, I love this question. With rumors swirling of a Nintendo Direct imminent, what do you hope to see? And on the other side, what realistically do you think we would see? So I would think that's a good way to answer this question would be 1 hope and 1 realistic.
Realistically, I do think we're going to get some kind of Switch Online update, right? Whether that's SNES update or whatever it is. Hope. What would I hope for?
Overwatch.
Yeah, no, not Overwatch. I would say Apex Legends. Not going to happen. So that's my wild card. But Apex Legends would be cool.
The last time you said that, it actually happened.
Something did.
It's like Realm Royale. It's like
Realm Royale. That's exactly what.
And then the next day,
Realm Royale. I have the power.
they heard the massing call.
Mm-hmm.
They saw the light in the sky in the shape of 3 pancakes stacked with butter and syrup.
Exactly. Andrew actually asked the question: do you think Xbox Game Pass would eventually come to Switch?
With their statements that they've made recently about first-party games sticking to primarily to Xbox consoles, no. I think that we'll see.
I don't think we'll see the games
form of
directly
Xbox
if
achievements come and things like that. But yeah.
Like if xCloud becomes a thing and becomes on multiple systems and including the Switch, then yeah, sure. But we're not going to have we're not going to have that many games natively.
Yeah, I feel like that rumor has died down a lot, and I feel like now that we've got Cuphead, we've got Ori, right? I feel like some of that heat or the kind of fire that was around that has simmered. So I don't know how legitimate it would be, but I mean, we've got Banjo, so I don't know. It's an interesting. It'd be cool.
I think with the up and down ride that Microsoft has had in this console generation. The idea that they have not contingency planned for being a software developer for multiple platforms eventually and not having a console is ludicrous. If you don't think that has happened, that conversation has happened. It's been a real conversation, and that's where stuff like Cuphead on multiple platforms and Ori on multiple platforms comes from. Now, do I think you're ever going to see Gears 5 or Gears 6 on a Nintendo system or Halo on a Nintendo system? No, absolutely not. Yeah. But I do think that some of these more popular indie titles, we will continue to see that kind of support because they're not primary first party stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like just like Nintendo's not going to primarily put Mario on the Xbox as a show of good faith. They're not going to put Master Chief on the Switch. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So then I'm sorry, Jesse, your 1 hope and your 1 realistic for Nintendo Direct.
I don't even know. My hope would. Or I think the realistic one would be, the Super Nintendo games or some other expansion to NSO. I can't even think of anything else of what I would, because I've learned over the years to not do this intentionally, to not be disappointed.
I love wild speculation. Right, you'll see soon. You'll see my next video of like, what do you think can be coming out? Or I love this kind of crazy. Just let's throw it out, right? Because I think sometimes that's when whether it's going to actually happen or not, It's fun to have conversations.
So I agree with you guys about the Nintendo Switch Online. There's going to be something that happens,
Has to be
right?
something.
With the 1 year. I don't know. I still don't. I'm not convinced it's SNES games, guys. I think there are too many people who are so it's almost entitled. Like they've got to give them to us. They are coming, that type of thing. There's nothing pointing to for sure yet. So it'd be great if they did.
A Super Nintendo shaped controller is a good hint.
Yeah, but I kind of more thought that before the controller came out, or the controller leaked or whatever. But it's coming. But I don't necessarily think it's going to be day and date September. This launched a year ago, so now here's some Super Nintendo games.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't think
that doesn't make sense to me.
Launch right away, but just be announced anyway. And my probably not going to happen might be more information on Prime 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My hope for the Direct is that they finally reveal the Super Mario 3D World port for Nintendo Switch. Because I love that game, and I think too few people got to play it because it was on the Wii U.
Sure.
So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of been a year full of Mario, if you think about it, because we've gotten New Super Mario Deluxe, and we got Mario Maker, and then we're getting Luigi's Mansion. So maybe they'll save that till next year, but I would at least like to know that it's coming. It's
fair. Good questions.
Right. I have one more question from the chat, which also is Picross related, from G Acres. Do you think Nintendo might ever put another character-themed Picross like Zelda or Pokemon?
Probably.
I'd love a Mario Picross.
Because we've seen, I forget the name of the franchise, but we've seen the Hello Kitty one. We've seen one based on Overlord. I think something with how hot Dragon Quest is lately. That's probably like something that
or Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem or Dragon Cross.
It's going to be Fire Emblem. It's always going to be Fire Emblem. Next thing you know, that
crap ton of characters or monsters is easy pickings.
Yeah,
Fire Emblem Kart Racer coming up.
Yeah.
That's
it, right?
That has been episode 245, and what an episode, man! Massive. Look, we've given you a hard time this episode.
Oh, sure.
But honestly, I'm so glad you're back. I know that our fans are too, and we'll love the just the rapport that we have when you're on, and I think the show misses something when you're not here. I mean, all of us bring something unique to the table, and so it misses when everybody's not here. But it's good to hear your voice. It's good to have you back on this side.
Sure.
By the way, as well.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to that day that we do get to go to PAX or whatever sometime.
Absolutely. And I do kind of want to take a pause and just say, I do want to thank everyone who has been just incredibly supportive for me in the show for the last over 2 years. It's been an experience that absolutely changed my life and changed my family's life. But I also want to just be so thankful for the community here. Whether it's just to continue to support you provide here, or just the DMs I got, whether it's on our Discord or kind of private messages in Facebook of just saying, hey, how are things going? What's going on? And had just such an opportunity to hopefully share some of my experiences that I've had. I had an opportunity to do some amazing things because of this community, right? I was very frank about that. We had an opportunity to go to Gamescom, and that's because of this community. It really is. I had an opportunity to experience amazing games, go to this a huge, amazing gaming event, which was a bucket list event for me, because of your support, because of everything you do, whether it's sharing a video, whether it's watching or listening. So thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And look, just more good stuff coming down the pipe from everybody here. So again, we just want to say how incredibly thankful and blessed we are, patrons and everybody who supports the show, whether you're a patron or you're just on Twitter or Facebook, whatever, listen along. We're thank you for making us a regular part of your life. right? Taking the minutes, the rule on whatever it is. That being said, I'm not going to be on the show next week. Probably not the week after that. I am finally getting my turn to take vacation. And so my family and I are going away for a week. We're actually going to be somewhere up around, not really near Jesse's neck of the woods, but we're going to be in Missouri. Missouri, we're going to be in you for a week. It's going to be fantastic. And so next week, I know these guys will do a great job on the show, and I'll miss it. But man, I'm just full disclosure from work, from everything. I'm ready for a break. Like, summer was tough,
Sure.
tough. And so we're just looking forward to getting away and spending some family time. So that's what's coming up on the show. As we close out here, we want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers. That's Chris Mears, John Blanco, Dave Ernsberger, and Tim Off. You guys are awesome for supporting us at the producer level, and we're so thankful for you. Also, if you have not checked it out, we want you to head over right now to nintendodads.org. nintendodads.org. That is our brand new website. Well, it's not brand new, but we've had it for a while, but it may be brand new to you if you've never been there. It has all of our latest YouTube videos, tweets, podcast episodes, links to all of our social media, our Patreon page, and the Nintendo Dads shop, where you can get stuff like this. That's right. We got stickers. I bought stickers of myself this week, and one of them fell in my car, and I've already had somebody say, "What is that?" Got to tell them about the show. And so you can go over there and get some stickers. We got stickers like this. They look like Super Nintendos, and we had the balloon stickers on my laptop. It'd be awesome. You can get all kinds of stuff over there, or you can find us in most places that you're at already, probably like Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Just type in Nintendo Dads. Boom. There we are. Also, we want you to email us your questions, your comments, your concerns, your hot takes, whatever it is, at nintendodads@gmail.com, or our brand new email address, podcast@nintendodads.org, or you can call in like some of our folks coordinated over the last couple of weeks. You can call in and leave voicemails at 929
to it, but they have not denied it either.
They didn't deny it. You're exactly right. 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237, and we will play them on the show. So keep it clean, keep it funny. Just call in. We'll play it on the show. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music used throughout the show. And as always, thanks to Adam Leonard and Carter Johnson for all the sweet artwork they do for us. For me, for Jesse, and for Justin, this has been episode 249 of Nintendo Dads. Justin,
45.
You know what to do.
Bye-bye.
It's too
No wobble puppet?
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
right here.
You're such a jerk.